Hare Krishna. Today our satsang is how Krishna is the Supreme God, how he is God of all gods, how he is the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So, there are many gods in the universe, and almost there are 225 and above religions in the world, of which 4 or 5 are very prominent: Hinduism, Muslim, Christianity, Buddhism, Jainism. So let us see a comparison among all the religions for the supremacy of the God. So first let us take to the Jainism and Buddhism, where they say there is no God. So there is no dispute for this. After that comes Muslimism, where they entirely depend on the messenger, where Muhammad is heard the words of the God. So there is no God in particularly because that God is impersonal. And Lord in the Bhagavad Gita is saying that He is the basis for the impersonalism of the God. All that impersonalism, the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence of the impersonalism has come, that is the body, the radiant of the body of the Krishna. Now you come to Christianism, where Jesus Christ is saying that He is the Son of the God, and He is not exhibiting who is Father, revealing who is Father of the universe. Whereas Krishna in the 9th chapter, 17th shloka saying, I am the Father of the universe. So it is clear that the Jesus to whom the Jesus is referring is actually referring to Lord Sri Krishna only. In this way also we can conclude that now you come to Hinduism, what Hinduism says about God. So in Hinduism, the God is represented when He possesses 6 qualities, 6 opulences. That is all richness, all beauty, all renunciation, all power, and all money, and all beauty. If anybody is possessing these 6 qualities, definitely he can be concluded as God. So if you see the all personalities among the gods also, nobody has exhibited all 6 qualities in one personality. Lord Shiva, one of the greatest God of gods, has not exhibited all beautiness in him, all richness in him. He has exhibited renunciation in his opulences. Then comes Lord Brahma. He does not possess any beauty, any richness. He has only the knowledge and austerity, penances. So he cannot be considered as a complete God. Then you see goddesses. Mata Lakshmi can bestow wealth but cannot bestow knowledge. Mata Saraswati can bestow knowledge but cannot bestow wealth. In this way, all personalities are not multiple personalities. They are lacking one quality or other. Only in the history of the world in the history. What we know today, only Lord Sri Krishna has exhibited all his multiple qualities in one personality. Krishna is all beautiful, all powerful, all renunciate, all knowledge, and all richness, and all opulent, all opulent of wealth and etc. So, even if you go to his Bhagavad Gita, what is saying in the 10th chapter, 8th shloka, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. He is the source of not only this material universe, but whatever spiritual universes are there, the Lord Sri Krishna is the only. And he is saying further in the 10th, 9th chapter, 10th shloka, that the material and nature, the material universe is working under my direction. So, the whole cosmic order, in the 8th shloka of the same chapter, the whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will it is automatically manifested again and again, and my will it is annihilated. So this whole cosmic is created only by his will, not under any compulsion. So this also exhibits Krishna's supreme quality. So we can conclude, and even if you see the history of the world till today, nobody in the universe claims that he has created the sun, he has created the moon, but only Lord Sri Krishna in the 15th chapter, 12th shloka is claiming that the splendor of the sun which dissipates the darkness of this whole world comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of the fire also comes from me. Nobody in the history has challenged this. He has created the sun, the moon, etc. So only Lord Sri Krishna exhibited such personality. And furthermore is saying that whatever power that other gods are having in this universe, and whatever they are bestowing the benefits, or actually the benefits are bestowed by Krishna alone. They have no power. No other god has any power to give anything. It is only Krishna who gives to them, and they in turn gives to you. So this also reveals the greatness of Krishna. So from all this we can conclude that the Krishna is God of all gods. In the 7th chapter, 21st shloka, God is saying, I am in everyone's heart, and as soon as one desires to worship demigods, means the other gods, like Indra, Chandra and etc., I make his faith steady so he can devote to himself to that particular deity. And in the next shloka, Lord is saying that endowed with such faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtain his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. So, first thing that Krishna exhibited is multiple qualities in himself, in one personality. And after that also, Bhagavad Gita, he confirmed all that through his shlokas, verses, that I am the only God. And material nature is working under me. I am the basis of impersonalism, etc. So, the Krishna is God of gods, the only God and Supreme God. One should surrender to Him and become His devotee to enjoy the mercy of Krishna also. That is the essence. So become the devotee of Krishna, chant the Hare Maha Mantra and be happy. Thank you and Hare Krishna.